Is ignorance bliss when trying to enjoy something? Is something that I've been wondering to myself. I'm a person that is really into like science. That's one of the reasons I'm really into science fiction. I really like the idea of opening something up and poking at it and really trying to understand how it works. And for me, that's a way that I've gotten more enjoyment out of something by like truly understanding what it took to create it. Not in the same way that if I was creating it myself, but kind of reverse engineering and thinking about how it came to be, how it's created, and understanding the process. I I enjoy listening to developer interviews about games, or I really like Bethesda games because the creation kit is like a pared down version of the development tools that they used to make the game. And it was really fascinating to go in and understand how each step of the process kind of worked. Um, I really, I really liked. Um, I tried to make a mod, so I I started with like a world space and put in buildings and did nav meshing on the floor and then added NPCs and looked at how NPC scripting worked and how to add voices to them and tried to like set up like a really um, rudimentary like uh, mm, pathing schedule. I'm trying to remember like the word for it. I think schedule was the right word, but I'm not sure. Um, but basically, like give the NPC instructions of where to go at different times during the day and what kind of function. Uh, add in an innkeeper or like a shop or a guard. You know, just the different kinds of NPCs that can be in a game, and it was really like interesting for me to dig deeper and see kind of what it took to make the game. It I thought at the time that it was like enhancing my enjoyment of it, but now I worry a little bit that I'm getting so granular into how something worked. Um, like when I'm playing a game, or when I'm reading a book, sometimes I think more about why, um, if there's more meaning to what the author's saying, why they might have said it. If like I kind of take my mind out and kind of dissect it. Uh, sometimes I will. Sometimes I'm able to just go completely in and like and read through something without giving it too much thought at first, but I find myself coming back and like dissecting it and trying to like I don't know, extract more meaning from it than I originally took. Um, the same is true for films or TV shows. If there's one I really like, I will go and watch a lot of analysis videos about it, commentary about it, uh, with game lores that I really enjoy. I like to watch other people's lore videos to see their interpretation of it, or what different bits and pieces they collected to establish how they saw a character. Because sometimes it can vary from person to person their interpretation of things like. There, two different Elder Scrolls lore videos can have conflicting accounts of different characters, and it's always just been fascinating to me, and I I enjoy that kind of thing, but I never really took a step back and wondered, am I making it a better experience for myself, or am I ruining the experience for myself? Like, would it be easier for me to just say something as simple as like D4 bad, Elden Ring good, you know? Or is there some value to understanding, um, I didn't really like a lot of Diablo because I found the stat allocation really lackluster, and I just wasn't motivated to go off and get more loot, knowing that like there was a low chance I would even get a good piece, and if I did, I would have to go to that stupid vendor and gamble one of the stats to try to like improve it, and a lot of the pieces were just barely an upgrade, if even, like, usually just a linear upgrade, and, like, I I didn't like the stash system, I didn't like, the inventory, I thought that, they understood before they were making the game every item that was gonna drop, and they could have thought about how that would fit in an inventory system, like, Guild Wars 2 and Lost Ark have, like, really great inventory systems where there's, like, a spot and there's kind of a spot for everything, like, or, Elder Scrolls Online, has a pretty good one where, it's got the big crafting bag. um, I don't know, I really like, games where you can, um, deposit materials in the bank and still craft from your bank, and you don't have to carry all of that on it. But, like, inventory management isn't gonna make or break a game, it's just gonna be one layer of frustration or one layer of enhancement. Like, if it's really convenient, no one's gonna play Guild Wars because of its inventory management, but if it was bad, people would complain that that was yet another thing wrong with the game. Like, so I I don't know I don't know how much consciously thinking of these things matters, like, um I suppose it could matter if you used it to inform your next choice, like, if you understood what you liked about Elden Ring. Like, for me, I'm a person that really likes to explore, and, I found in that game there were so many, like, hidden places. There were fake walls. You would think you were going into a little cave, and it would, open up into this really big place that you weren't expecting, and, like, felt like the game just kept going and going, this big expansive world, and you just were not prepared for it until you, like, like, there would just be more, and, like, the creature design was just just completely unexpected and really well done, or, like, obviously the combat, right? Like, there's different things that make it good, but, like, you know, no particular one thing made it good. Everything together as a complete package made it good. So, I don't know. I mostly just wondered, like, am I am I getting more out of overthinking things, or am I enhancing it? Like, I wonder, especially with something like, um, excuse me, with Star Wars. I've I've spent way more time, uh, in games about Star Wars, or, that, like, I've played 2 MMOs, I've played, like, most of the single player entries, there's all the expanded lore. um, I I kind of enjoy a lot of that, um, you know, but I mean, like, the movies, are a little hit and miss, but for the most part, that was where the initial draw came from. So, like, do I get more out of, like, rewatching one of the older movies because I've been to some of the areas that are in it in a game? Like, or does it kind of pull me out of watching the actual story to think, "Oh, I remember when, we had a little shop outside of Moss Isley," does that enhance my experience, or does it take away from it? Um, I don't know, if you're a person, like, watching videos about video game discussion, then perhaps you understand what I mean. Are you able to just dive in and accept each thing for what it is, or do you find yourself overthinking it, like especially with like some of the rather evasive monetization practices and things that have kind of been at the forefront in recent years, like for me, like if a game has like pay to win elements, usually I'll give it a try, but just nope out, because I I have a ceiling on what I'm willing to spend on entertainment. Um, I and a lot of the times I find that the ways that the in-game shops try to grab your attention, like notifications, like at all times, but it's just notifying you that you should be buying something, like that kind of stuff is really annoying because it's always just in your periphery, like like especially like the glowing shop button or something. They're just so evasive, and I find the games that are more subtle about it I can still enjoy, but I wonder which way we're heading with it. But I think I'm getting off on a new subject, so I will I will stop for now. Take care.